Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Take control, Gotham. Take control of your city. Yeah, this show's a little more like Bane in the League of Shadows. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I'm going against my own brand. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So last week, when all the GameStop stuff happened, we talked about how Janet Yellen received $7 million in speaker fees, $810,000 of it coming from Citadel, which does a lot of business with Robinhood. Robinhood is the online trading company that deliberately shut down when the WallStreetBets, that Reddit group, was buying GameStop to thwart these hedge funds that were deliberately shorting the stock. It cost these hedge funds, I've heard, in the neighborhood of $73 billion. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but that's the number that's being bandied about. So, but it's a lot of money, whatever it is. It's in the billions. It's in the tens of billions of dollars, whatever the actual dollar amount is. So obviously there's been a big outcry. I've done numerous videos on this of Janet Yellen clearly has a conflict of interest, right? She has a conflict of interest. And I showed you how this was the White House press secretary when she was asked a direct question. How is Janet Yellen, the new Secretary of Treasury, should she recuse herself is the question. Should she, because it's a clear conflict of interest. How can you weigh in impartially about regulation, and should there be any consequences to, hedge funds deliberately, everything the GameStop Reddit group did was legal. It's all legal. And everything they did is something that hedge funds do on a daily. They get a group of money together, a group of investors. They deliberately short a stock to nosedive a company to profit from. They do this all the time, and it's legal. But when regular people profit from this and the billionaire ruling class loses money, then we got to shut it down. So the question is, should Janet Yellen recuse herself, because this is a clear conflict of interest? And remember when the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, deflected the question, right? Remember this?
I had a follow-up on the markets and everything that's happening with GameStop. You did mention, I believe, yesterday that the Treasury Secretary is monitoring the situation and she's kind of on top of it. There have been some kind of concerns about her previous engagements with Citadel and speaking fees that she has received from Citadel. Are there any plans to have her recuse herself from advising the president on GameStop?
Are there any plans to have her recuse herself? Very clear, concise question. That sounds like good journalism to me. I don't know who this journalist is. I don't know what outlet she's for. I don't know. But that's a real clear question, because it's like, these are facts. She's gotten $800,000 from Citadel in speaking fees. Also, Google, she's gotten speaker fees down. Google has done. So, clear question, right? Yes or no answer. Are there any plans to have Janet Yellen recuse herself? So you think you hear an answer of, no, we don't think it's that severe, which, all right, that's the White House's stance. Or we're in discussions. We're figuring that out, if she has to recuse herself and who would take her place. Or, yeah, she's absolutely recusing herself. Those are the three answers you could give. Yes, no, and we're talking about it, right? Here's what happens.
The whole Robinhood situation?
Well, just to be clear, what I said was that we have the Treasury Secretary is now confirmed. Obviously, we have a broad economic team. The SEC put out a statement yesterday that I referred to, but I don't think I have anything more for you on it, other than to say, separate from the GameStop issue, the Secretary of Treasury is one of the world-renowned experts on markets, on the economy. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone she was paid to give her perspective and advice before she came into office.
That's not the question.
I had a follow-up on the markets and everything that's happening with GameStop. You did mention, I believe, yesterday that the Treasury Secretary is monitoring the situation and she's kind of on top of it. There have been some kind of concerns about her previous engagements with Citadel and speaking fees that she has received from Citadel. are there any plans to have her recuse herself from advising the president on GameStop and the whole Robinhood situation?
Well, just to be clear, what I said was that we have the Treasury Secretary is now confirmed. Obviously, we have a broad economic team. The SEC put out a statement yesterday that I
not answering the question. So I'm not answering the question. I'm deliberately not answering the question. This reporter's right on it. You said she was going to be monitoring the situation since she's the new Secretary of Treasury. We know she's been confirmed. Yeah, we know she's the Secretary of Treasury. That's not, no one's disputing that she's the Secretary of Treasury. No one's disputing that she wasn't qualified for the speaking fees. The question is, now that she's Treasurer Secretary, and you said she's monitoring the situation, should she recuse herself? Are there any conversations about her recusing herself?
Referred to, but I don't think I have anything more for you on it other than to say separate from the.
It's not separate. That's not separate. That's not separate. That's why it's called a conflict of interest. Just looking to see which hand she's got all the big diamonds on. That's why it's not a separate issue. That's why it's a conflict of interest. Like, do I got to map this out for you? Are you this dumb, or are you just deliberately evasive and condescending to this reporter? Oh, that's separate. I released a statement. Okay, little reporter. Wow. So the journalists, after 4 years of basically being verbally abused every day by Trump and his liars, now they're going to get, this is the Democrats. And this is why dipshit vote any blue would do. People go, at least they're better than Trump. No, this is the power. The people in power have a clear conflict of interest, and they're evading your question. They're both awful. Trump just going, you're a liar. You're a filthy liar. You should know better. Whatever he would, any journalist would call him on something. You're a liar. I'm number one. And now they're like, this is the Democratic Party's version of their corruption. Oh, thank God we got rid of Trump's blatant lies. And now we're just back to evading and platitudes and condescending and not answering direct questions. Did you go into that strip club, Graham? Now, wait a minute. Now, I have a right to drive a nice car. Yeah, we're not asking if you have a right to drive a nice car. Did you go to that strip club? I have the right to drive a nice car. I've earned my money. It's not that expensive of a car. Separate from that, I went into the strip club to just ask for directions. Now this is a separate issue. I went in to ask for directions, and yes, I was there for 5 hours, but that was because, and this is a separate issue, as I've already laid out, I think I've made this very clear, $1,500, I had cash, it fell out of my pocket again. Now I've earned the right to have $1,500 in cash, and I'm a little offended that you think I don't deserve to earn that kind of money, but separate issue. $1,500 fell out of my pocket, and I had to spend 5 hours on the ground looking for that $1,500 in a strip club. That's why I'm covered in titty glitter. Oh, so you got lost and that's why you ended up in the strip club. This is how guys. I didn't cheat on my wife. I was walking out of a shower and I had a towel on me and I tripped and fell, and there happened to be my assistant and she was naked, and I tripped and then oh God, I was on top of her and I was trying to get off. So it was like bouncing up and down on a bed. It looked like we were having sex. I tripped and fell and ended up having sex with her, but not deliberate. I was bouncing up in the bed, and the bed was I couldn't get off of the bed. And so we were kind of stuck on the bed for like a half an hour bouncing around. But I didn't cheat on my wife.
GameStop issue, the Secretary of Treasury is one of the world-renowned experts on markets, on the economy. Shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. She was paid to give her perspective and advice before she came into office.
So that's what happened. And now they're having these press briefings over Zoom, right? So this is kind of a standard thing. Now, it kind of didn't happen with the Trump because he was adversarial to the press corps, way more adversarial. This is why you need a free, independent media. You got to call these people out. And when you have corporate media That woman that asked the questions, I wonder if she works for some big media outlet that gets ad money from Citigroup and Citadel and blah, 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 and Ameritrade and all these other crap companies. See how it's all corrupt? But here's what just happened. Oh, look at that. White House reporter, Biden team wanted our questions in advance. It pissed off enough reporters for people to flag it for the whole White House Correspondents Association. One of the Daily Beast sources said, this just happened today. So that avoiding the question happened last, I believe, Thursday, because the GameStop thing, I think it was Wednesday the 27th. Thursday the 28th, they asked that question. She said, separate from that, I'm full of shit and can't answer a question. So condescending. Can you imagine if it was a guy that said that to a female reporter? They'd be like, God, is he sexist? Like, I gave you, read the SEC. She has the right to earn that money. Like, okay, little girl. That's how she sounded. Like, so condescending. That's the Democratic Party. Condescending, full of platitudes. The Republicans just lie and just say racist crap. And people are so dumb. They buy this Democratic. Like, I don't know. I think if you like either party, I think you're dumb. I think there's something wrong with your brain. I think you like, it doesn't make sense. You listen to either one of those parties speak and they're different versions of bullshit. And America, half of the country gobbles up the Republican bullshit and half the country gobbles up the Democratic bullshit. Actually, that's not third, like 25% of each. And then 25 for this dumb party, 25 for that dumb party. And then half of the country is where we're at. Like, they're both suck. But now they want to know what questions you're going to ask. While it's a relief to see briefings return, particularly with a commitment to factual information, the press can't really do its job in the briefing room if the White House is picking and choosing the questions they want, one White House correspondent. That's not really a free press at all. Trump's gone. Republicans are gone. Democrats control all three branches of government. I don't want to hear it. So you told us, oh, Biden, you cheered in the streets. This is the yay. They're going to save us. Female press secretary, first woman secretary of treasurer, first person of color secretary of defense. But no, hold them accountable. And if you let this slide just because you didn't like Trump, you're a sucker. So when the Democrats hijack freedom of the press, you're okay with it. When Obama jailed whistleblowers, you were okay with it, right? Kamala Harris puts black people behind bars. You're okay with it? Okay, got it. When Hillary Clinton participated in dropping more bombs than Bush, when Obama, Biden, and Secretary of State Clinton all dropped more bombs than President Bush, their predecessor, a war criminal as well, you were okay with it. Okay. It pissed off enough reporters for people to flag it for the White House. For them to deal with it, another knowledgeable source said. White House reporters, Biden team wanted our questions in advance. The White House Correspondents Association, that's what CA is, yeah. Watch that whole press briefing. I watched most of it. She evaded questions left and right. I wish that reporter would have gone, that wasn't my question. Should she recuse herself? She just said, so separate from that. So she deserved to make that money. Okay, over here, avoid, deny. Over here, didn't answer the question. Did you go into that strip club, Graham? Did you go into that strip club? I drive down that street all the time. There's many businesses I frequent there. And you know, that's I have a right to do that, but that's a crazy question to ask. Like, roads are there for people to drive on. Anyway, over here. You didn't answer the question, Graham. Nobody's mad about the road. Hey. Oh, thank God we're back to just the subtle avoiding denial, not bold-faced lies of the Trump administration, but the subtle, more glossy, fun, right? Do you see how the ruling class operates? Like, and this is a sharp woman. It's very clear she's highly educated, knows what she's talking about. She knows what she's doing up there. She's playing this. She's playing all of you. You think the Biden administration's so great? They're all tied into this. It's such a scam. Oh, hey, freedom of the press taken away by the Democrats. I thought we were going to restore democracy and our faith in our politicians and build back better. Wow. I guess build back better, but not really with freedom of the press. I mean, build back better with platitudes and identity politics. Yeah. Right. So if you question the Biden administration, remember now you're a MAGA supporter or a Russia, or you're sexist or whatever they're going to throw at you, rather than go, yeah, that woman completely avoided the question. And yes, Janet Yellen has a conflict of interest and should recuse herself. That's what they should say, but they won't. They won't. I will. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.